Last time on Sonic the Hedgehog by IDW. After the machinations of Dr. Starline blew up in his face, or I guess you could say he was crushed by his ambitions, and Surge was seemingly lost, Bell, Tails, and Sonic took Kitsunami, or Kit, to try to escape from Eggman's massive base. But thanks to Starline's recall order that sent hordes of badniks swarming into the city, Sonic's been dealing with a lot, including exhaustion. And even though Tails and Bell managed to secure a ride out of there, Metal Sonic managed to down it. And now, Sonic is injured. With things looking more dire by the second, Kitsunami has awoken from his induced slumber, just in time to possibly see the end of his life. What happens next? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, Sonic the Hedgehog number 52. Nice simple cover, nothing too overly elaborate here. Story and art by Evan Stanley. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. Inks by Rick Mack and Maria Kane. Colors by Reggie Graham. Ooh, Reggie! Love Reggie's colors. Letters by Sean Lee. Editors Riley Farmer and David Moret. I will admit, last issue, art got a little wonky towards the end because they switched around who was doing the art. It wasn't terrible, it was just a little off. Alright, roll call. Sonic the Hedgehog, the Blue Blur, fastest thing alive. Miles Tails Prower, tech-savvy sidekick, high-flying genius. Bell the Tinkerer, clumsy marionette, enthusiastic newcomer. Kitsunami, Kit the Fennec, sorrowful sidekick, high-flying hydromancer. Dr. Eggman, mad genius, egg enthusiast. Metal Sonic, loyal minion, mechanical menace. Alright, Sonic, Tails, and Bell stand amongst the wreckage of their previous escape ship, and looming over them, triumphantly, Metal Sonic, ready to finally down his hated rival. Metal Sonic starts to power up. Sonic knows what's about to happen and says, "Not good, we gotta move." But Tails realizes, "Wait, Kit!" And he goes rushing over saying, "Come on, come on." Kit is still in a daze, waking up from his long nap, as Tails pulls the seatbelt apart, revs up his tails, and manages to get Kit out of the way, as well as pushing Sonic and Bell out of the fray as well, as Metal Sonic comes crashing down where they once stood. Tails goes flying up into the sky, bringing along everybody else. Sonic notices something in the distance and says, "That way. He won't be able to get up to full speed in there." They enter through a narrow corridor. As Tails examines it, as Bell brings Kit behind them, Tails says, "I didn't get a great look at the city's layout from the shuttle, but from what I remember, if we take a left up ahead, we should be headed towards the wall." But before they can proceed further, Metal Sonic comes crashing through one of the walls, blocking their path. Tails in a panic says, "Not left, definitely not left," and they go racing in the other direction. Bell tries to reason with the looming Metal Sonic, saying, "Metal, stop, please. You don't have to do this." But Metal will be undeterred as he digs and scrapes through the narrow passage to get at his enemies. Sonic notices a platform above them, and he says, "Tails, give me a boost." Tails swings Sonic up towards the platform, and with Sonic's one good leg, he kicks all the junk on the platform on top of Metal Sonic, momentarily stunning him. They make their way out of the corridor as Sonic breathes a sigh of relief. Phew, that should slow him down. Tails, observing his surroundings, says, "I recognize those crystals. It shouldn't be too hard to..." But Bell is struggling with the flailing Kit. He's like a little child. As Bell says, "Ugh, I'm trying to help. If we don't get out of here..." But Kit continues to flail, saying, "Let me go." And he ends up elbowing Bell in her squeaky nose. As it goes honk, Bell is disoriented and she falls on top of Kit. Tails tries his best to calm Kit down, saying, "Kit, it's okay. Nobody's gonna hurt you." But Kit claws and scrapes at him, saying, "No, where's Surge? Sorry, Freudian slip. Where's Surge? I need to find her." But Tails, knowing what's up, is at a loss for words, as he says, Well, but Kit continues to panic, saying, I've been gone too long. She'll be so angry. But Sonic, he hears a noise from the direction where Metal Sonic was last seen. And as he hobbles over to Tails and Kit, he says, okay, this is a big ask, but Metal Sonic is coming. And fast. Out of all of us, you're the only one who can stop him from turning us into lunch meat. Kit isn't sure what to say as he stutters, but Sonic continues. We're out of time, Kit. You can use those wacky water powers of yours to make Metal severely regret his life choices. You in? It's interesting. I think Kit ultimately reaches back out towards Sonic's extended hand, and he says, yes, sir. Almost like it's the fact that someone is taking charge that gives him some form of comfort. Poor broken kid. Sonic simply says, nice, thank you. As he helps Kit up, Kit explains, I'm gonna need some water to recharge my pack, though. Tails examines his hydro pack and says, it holds a pressurized reservoir, right? We're going to need a lot of liquid. But suddenly there's a massive clink and water everywhere. It seems that Bella's used her special kicking ability to open up a few, I don't know, I guess they're coolant tanks or whatever. As Bella just simply asks, how's this? As Kit sucks in all the water into his pack. And he says, that'll do it. But out of the corridor comes bursting Metal Sonic. Back on the hunt, and as he races closer to our heroes, Tails takes Sonic up, flying him out of harm's way, as Sonic says, you got this, Kit. And Kit, his eyes glow a menacing glow. The water around him starts to float. It entraps Metal Sonic slowly, dragging him down to the ground. Kit then starts to use his water to crack the nearby crystals, which I don't know what those crystals are used for, but they break apart well enough, tumbling on top of Metal Sonic before he can fully recover. Meanwhile, in the junk pile, Surge has literally found herself at rock bottom, having just narrowly managed to avoid being turned into a nice itty-bitty meat cube, and thanks to her healing abilities helping her recover from the fall, only her ego is damaged at this point. And she goes, yeah, this isn't going to stop me. I will not be thrown away like some pizza. But she seems to notice something in the distance. Or maybe she just sees a way out. She goes digging and scraping to get out. Or get something. She says, ha! Finally! But suddenly there's a rumbling behind her, as some kind of egg mech comes rumbling towards her, shocking her a little bit. She narrowly manages to avoid it by dodging out of the way, and then she sees it. Starline's glove. She manages to snag it before she loses sight of it, and she stares at it long and hard. She talks to herself. Starline's glove. There's no way he'd let it go. Unless, I guess Eggman was more than he could handle. Finally free, right? Doesn't matter. He was weak and I can do better. I will. She prepares to throw the glove, if nothing else, out of her sight, and she tosses it right into the fire. Ian says this truly is the end of Starline, that he's dead, but I don't know. It'd be a bit of a shame if that was the end of him completely. Who knows? It's comic books. Anybody can come back from anything. The mech, pushing along the excess trash, makes another pass by, as Surge tells herself, I will get out of this. She jumps onto its treads to get on top of it, and she tells herself, I will get better, stronger. She leaps towards one of the pipes that popped her out previously and manages to grab hold. And then she says, and do more than Starline could even imagine. Meanwhile, in the supply closet, Cubot seems to be looking for something. He says, boss has got to have some duct tape in there somewhere. But then he hears a knocking at the trash door. He says, what was that? Is something in there? This is probably the sort of thing Orbot would tell me not to mess with. He opens the chute, says, hello? And Surge's hand grabs him by his mechanical throat. He says, looks like I just hit the jackpot. Nice, about time I had some good luck. She makes her way out of the trash chute as Cubot, kind of tries to threaten her, saying, when I get out of here, you're gonna be sorry. I know 16 ways to break a man's neck. Surge goes rooting through the boxes, though, ignoring Cubot, picking up a weapon, saying, cute, but not my style. Do you have anything a little more hands-on, but then she notices something on a nearby table saying, "Ooh, hello, beautiful. Who are you?" Not sure what this is, but it's definitely probably something that'll power Surge up. Surge turns to Cubot and says, "Robot, what is this thing?" But Cubot is obstinate and says, "My voice chips are sealed." Surge doesn't take kindly to this and says, "They're gonna be in little pieces on the floor if you don't." Cubot cracks, of course, and says, "Wait, I can't live like that again." Reference to his damaged voice chip. "That's the dynamo cage. The boss has been messing around with it for a while. It's used to harness energy, like from Wisp. Doesn't matter if they want to give you their powers or not. The cage can suck it right up, no problem." Oh, so she can gain the power of Wisp without them being willing participant. Ooh, that could be dangerous. But I don't think he's worked out all of the oof. Surge drops him, and she says, "Okay, shut up now. I get the picture." Oh, this could have dangerous repercussions. As she fits on the dynamo. Meanwhile, Sonic and Belle have finally made their way to the top of the wall. They haven't really received much resistance from Eggman at this point. And as Tails slowly sets Kit down, he tells him, "Hang on, I'll be back in a second." Meanwhile, Belle is a bit out of breath saying, "Finally, I can't wait to get out of here." But Sonic, he's not so sure, saying, "For now, the longer this city stands, the more Eggman's gonna wreak." But then there's a boom in the distance, and Sonic says, "Right on time." Looks like Metal Sonic has finally managed to get out of that little avalanche he was under. As Sonic says, "You gotta admire his persistence." As Metal Sonic comes rocketing off from the distance towards Sonic, Belle hides behind Sonic. Well, Belle says, "Oh no," and Sonic shields her, saying, "Stand behind me, okay?" As Metal Sonic gets closer and closer. Ooh, Belle steps in front of him before he can make his way to Sonic. Metal Sonic stops dead in his track, and Belle says defiantly, "If you want to get to him, you have to go through me." And for a moment, Metal Sonic pauses, and Belle thinks maybe she's gotten through to him. She says, "See? You don't." Thwack! Metal Sonic slaps her to the side. Because while Metal Sonic might have some kind of feeling towards Belle, as they shared the same creator, Metal Sonic's vendetta against Sonic just too great. Sonic cries out for Belle and gets ready to fight, saying, "That was low, buddy. Fine, let's get this over with." But before he can finish that, there's a massive explosion back at the city that shocks both Sonic and Metal Sonic. Sonic says, "Whoa, looks like there's trouble. Better run back to Daddy Dearest and make sure he's okay." Metal Sonic is obviously seething, but he does just that to go check on things. Sonic turns to Belle and asks, "You okay?" But Belle doesn't respond, obviously feeling more hurt than just the slap from that little interaction with Metal Sonic. Tails comes racing up to the top of the wall, asking, "What happened? We heard an explosion." Sonic explains, "Metal gave us a little send-off, but had to bounce early. Looks like something's up at the main tower." That's Eggman's problem, though. Back at Eggman's tower, he shoos away the smoke that has filled his office, and he demands, "Cubot, if you touched any of my prototypes, I swear I'm going to turn you into a rice cracker." But a voice calls out behind him, "Sorry, that was me." Eggman looks behind him to see Surge powered up with the dynamo, saying, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun." Alright. I thought Surge was gonna be out of things for a hot minute now, but we're going right into her being a menace to society. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And next month, looks like she wreaks havoc across the city, and going after one of the most capable Wisp users, Whisper, the wolf. And I don't know how well Whisper's gonna fare, especially with Surge probably trying to steal her ammo. And man, Surge is kind of looking like Livewire almost with this kind of power up, especially in that preview cover. I love the glowing eyes effect too, really make her look menacing. That's something they've been doing a lot lately, even with Belle too and stuff. That glowing eye effect, it just gives off this creepy vibe. And from the previews I've seen, Surge is on a friggin' tear. after this point. Really makes me wonder how much damage she actually manages to do before someone finally manages to ground her. Pun fully intended. But I'm just glad to be out of the city. It's few too many issues dealing with finding a way out of this place, honestly. A little too much of a slow burn, if you catch my drift. Feels like it probably could have been summed up in maybe, I don't know, an issue? But I did like Sonic getting injured, and that made things just a little bit more desperate. But with so much of this issue being dedicated to Surge, it's just like, and I was more interested in just seeing Scourge just come up and get this gear. But let me hear it from you. What do you think this new power-up is going to do for Surge in the end? How much destruction will she wreak? And remember, Sonic is still injured, so I don't know how fast he's going to get back into the fray. And will Kit end up coming to her aid as well? Together, they're very powerful. And with this thing taking the power from Wisp, how many Wisps will she run through? Will she turn them into Nega Wisps? And how will they affect her biology? Especially given the fact that it's a prototype that she's wearing, an experimental one with unpredictable outcome. Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.